No, it's a never ending struggle. I think that's something that for me, I never wanted to just be one person. I never wanted to just be one thing, I should say, because I do think as a woman in sports in general, people always try to pigeonhole you being one type of role. And I always want to show that I can do more, so I enjoy diversifying my work in that way of being able to work in different areas and help use my talents as a reporter, but also in speaking and also as my experiences as a player, because I am more than just a reporter. I'm more than just someone that sits on camera and talks about sports, but I can get into a variety of different roles. So, I don't know if there will ever be a time where I have just one job or just one role or just one title. I have no idea. I don't plan for that anytime soon, but it's just been a balance of trying to really understand that it's bigger than me. And the reason why I do so much actually is bigger than me, to show other people, especially girls, that anything really is possible. I think, of course, the biggest thing is you always should be getting paid what you're worth, but that's not the world that we live in. There's always still a gender gap, and that's across the world, and so I think for me, it's just a matter of, going back to what I was saying before, not only trying to diversify myself in the work that I do, but also trying to make sure that I'm always getting better. Like I don't want to ever settle for just doing the bare minimum. I'm always trying to find different ways to tell stories, to interview, to host, to be able to cover different content, because I do think that the moment we get complacent and start to settle and just do the bare minimum is the moment that we allow that gap to go the opposite direction. So I'm trying to show that, as a female, it doesn't matter how old I am, what gender I am, what race I am, none of that. I deserve to have a seat at the table. I deserve to be a part of these conversations. So I think the driving factor for me as a woman in sports is to be seen as more than just a woman in sports, to be seen as someone that's an equal. And of course, for athletes, we're still seeing the fight, but it's beyond just being an athlete. It's an issue that we're seeing across all sports, all industries, where women are finally getting the opportunities we deserve in these positions of power. You see more women that are head coaches, head in the front office, heading HR, whatever it may be, that we're in these other roles aside from just being someone that has the role as like a secretary or an assistant. So I do think that for me, I enjoy what I do. I think that's the first part of it. Like, find what you're passionate about. Be a part of a job that doesn't feel like work, where you enjoy what you're doing every day. And that makes it easier when you do deal with the struggles and the adversity and the hard days, because at the end of the day, you're doing something that you want to be doing. You're doing something that does make you happy. I think the hard part is it's a business at the end of the day. And so for women, specifically like the U.S. women's national team has been way more successful than the U.S. men's national team. And it's not even close, obviously, winning World Cups, winning the Olympics, whereas the men don't even qualify. So for that reason alone, it's like, how do you justify paying them more when we're doing so much more? But I also think that what a lot of businesses try to say is because of the revenue. Male sports tend to bring in more money. Jersey sales, ticket sales, at the end of the day, sponsorships, all those things. I get it. TV spots, for example, more, if you turn on your TV, you're going to see more male sports games than female sports games. So I think something I've always had conversations around, and I'm seeing more conversations around, is to not only encourage people to talk and support these sports, but buy the merchandise, go to games, buy tickets, make sure you're watching and tuning in for ratings, become a fan, because that's the only way if you can start on the business side of addressing the financial ticket, literally, you'll see it also being able to change on how businesses and companies in terms of like sponsorship deals and things like that will start to work in their favor. But it's definitely moving slowly but surely.
Okay.